Now we will have a look at BMS, that is Battery Management System. So the battery management system is the brain of the battery. So why is it important? First is the safety. So BMS controls all the functioning limits of the pack electrically as well as thermally. So let's say when we are saying electrically, that means over voltage and under voltage. Let's say for a 48 volt nominal system, higher side will be 54.6 and lower side will be 39 volt. And thermally means the operating temperatures between 15 to 35 degrees Celsius. Then BMS is critical to accident prevention. Second is the life cycle or cost. So BMS helps in optimal operation of the pack, helping to prolong the pack life, benefiting in life cycle and cost. So what do we mean by optimal operation? Is, let's say, cell balancing, which we have seen in earlier session. So it tries to keep all the cell in balance, helps in increasing the life of the pack and eventually reducing the cost. Third is measurement and prediction. So BMS measures voltage, current and temperature from the batteries and predicts SOC, SOH, SOF. Apart from that, it also predicts any fault analysis going in the battery and takes necessary action to keep it under control. That includes thermal runaway, short circuit, mechanical failure, etc. Some BMS also have memory to store all the data regarding the battery pack, let's say for warranty purposes or for other refinement in the design. So in general, battery pack layout is presented in the following format. First, it has cell modules which makes the battery pack. Second is the BMS. Third is the insulation monitoring device. Then we have pre-charge circuit, current sensors, service disconnect fuse, balancing circuit which is there in the BMS. Now considering design of BMS, so what is the core function of BMS? First is a safe operation that contains temperature, voltage and current. Second is the database. So it keeps a record of cell parameters, balancing setters, input-output devices, etc. Third is the self-diagnosis. In this we have self-test, that is it will check the BMS each time it reboots. Then we have system monitoring, error handling if any, and integrity check. Now comes the BMS applications. So it estimates SOC, SOH and advanced application like predicting range, fault analysis, etc. Then it also has data storage where it stores all the data. Then we have control systems. For example, contactor control for switching on of the battery pack. Then we have thermal control which is input to the heating and cooling circuitry. Then it has interface drivers for communicating with other electronic components through CAN or serial bus. And it has primary processor for real-time operating system. Then it will have secondary processor only for safety, let's say pack monitoring, recovery from abnormality and keeping safe operating area. Then interface drivers in which is interlock control, which means unless and until the safe tells is not okay, it will not open the contactor. Now what does the BMS sense? So first is the voltage, in which comes the individual cell voltage, which is a critical input to SOC and SOH estimation algorithm. It's essential for protection and is measured using ICs. Second is the temperature. So it senses the cell level, pack level and module level temperatures, mostly measured using transistors, and is the critical input for thermal management system. Third is current. It is used to detect and log abuse conditions. It is again a critical input to SOC and SOH estimation algorithms, estimated mostly using current shunts and Hall effect sensors. Fourth is the isolation sensing, to check whether all wiring is insulated or not. In high voltage system, to check whether it is connected to the chassis. It enhances safety and accident prevention. Now this layout shows overall battery pack architecture. So the cells are connected in series and parallel, which forms modules. Modules combine together to form battery pack. Then we have voltage and temperature harness from the pack, which is given as input to the BMS. Then we have contactor, which is basically a switch controlled by BMS. Then we have a high voltage and low voltage cables. We have communication harness, which controls all the switches and contactors. Then there is a pre-charge resistor and a relay to reduce the intensity of surge current. We have current sensor and fuse for servicing. And finally, the pack outlet, which has positive negative terminals along with communication and signaling cables. So this is the overall layout of the battery pack. So what a well-designed BMS looks like. So it has a good resolution of measurement at cell and pack level. Second, it maintains equal SOH in every cell, so it balances the battery pack. Third, highest safety level actively shutdowns in extreme scenarios, let's say in thermal runaway, mechanical failure, short circuit. Then we have it predicts and warns user of degrading events. It controls auxiliary systems for efficient pack operations. And lastly, this was all regarding BMS and battery pack layout. In the next session, we are going to see what is battery pack sizing, how the cells in series and parallel are arranged.